So then what do we do? Because this boredom can really lead down dark paths. It can lead to, at its worst, like substance abuse and other issues there, as well as mental health issues such as depression. And it happens all of the time. It really does. And that's why I want to call attention to this, because whatever you're going through right now, you're not alone. Welcome back, everyone. A brand new week here, as always, here on the Cabral Concept, each and every day bringing you a new health-based episode dedicated to figuring out the underlying root causes of your health, your well-being based issues, but also taking your life to that next level. And that's what this Mindset and Motivation Monday is all about. It's not just about physical health, but it's also that mental health as well. So that every day you're waking up with purpose, every day you're living your life with a sense of passion, of wanting to do good work in this world. So what I want to share with you here today is that what I've seen in my life is there's really two different types of people. And for one of these people, boredom equals, in my opinion, huge danger and depression. And that is because, again, like I like to say, is that we're not all wired exactly the same way. Now, we can change our wiring. I truly believe that. But we also have an innate nature to us that is part of who we are. There are people, and this, I think you'll get this example really quick. So there are people who dream about taking a week's vacation to the beach and lying around in a chair in the sun all day, maybe sipping on pina coladas and things like that, margaritas, whatever your favorite beverage is, protein shakes. And then there are those who dread even anything more than a day or 2 day weekend of lying at the beach, right? Of being at the beach. It's just two different types of people. And that's okay. Neither one necessarily is better than the other. And when you look at that, you say, okay, yeah, well, the kapha, mindset, they want to do that. They want the relaxation. They want the calm. They want to live at the beach or relax at the beach. And then there's maybe more of the pitta, maybe the vata in there a little bit, although they can be overwhelmed of just dreading even sometimes a 3-day weekend. And the people who want to live at the beach and live that lifestyle, they don't really get the people who dread the 3-day weekend where it's like, oh, an extra day off and I'm just, lying around doing nothing. It's two different mindsets. And the people who dread lying around, they don't get that lifestyle either. And that's okay. It's honestly okay. But one of the things that I try to preach on Mondays is that there is no one best way to live your life. The best way to live your life is checking in with yourself and simply being self-aware and asking yourself, am I happy? Am I good? I just like to ask that, hey, am I good? Is everything good? And I like to try to do that with my team as well. And I like to do that with clients. Are you good? Is everything good? No, I really mean that. I just don't want your coined answer of what you would typically say. Yeah, all good. Everything's good. No problems. No. Are you good right now? Because sometimes you're not. And now the thing is this. Sometimes we're not good because life is life. And bad things do happen. And there's an ebb and the flow, right? And so you have to say to yourself, okay, is this long term? So meaning right now I'm not happy because I got a cold, I got an injury, I got whatever. Okay, but you look at yourself, yeah, you're not good because it takes you away from being your best self, from maybe being able to exercise, stay in your routine, whatever it is, right? But then you ask yourself, okay, but for how long? Yeah, that might set me back a week, right? If you have a cold, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. If you have an injury, maybe a little bit more, but it's finite. Okay, it's finite. So then you can check in with yourself. You can say, okay, yeah, this is a short period of time. I need to be able to overcome this. I can't let it overcome me, right? So that's one part of it. But other parts, no, there may be no end in sight. And when there's no end in sight, that is when we can start to get to a dark place. For some people, though, that is boredom. And what I want to go is a little bit deeper on this. Boredom is not just, oh, I'm bored today. No, it's no sense of purpose. That's true boredom. That's real boredom. Because you can be busy, but bored, right? If you are working or doing things that don't interest you, excite you, light you up, make you, when you wake in the morning, ready to get after the day, that's a sense of boredom, chronic boredom in life. just malaise, right? That's the definition of malaise. That's just lethargy. If you wake up today and go through the day, great. If you don't, you don't. Like, that's just that general malaise. That's the kind of being at the beach all day for the people who would dread even that for more than a day or two. So what do we do about this? Like, that's the thing. Because sometimes you can't just quit your current situation in life. That's one of the biggest things. You might be at a job right now from 9 to 5 every day that you don't love, right? You might, and again, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way, you may be a stay-at-home parent right now that doesn't necessarily want to be a stay-at-home parent. And I can sing the praises, which I believe is the hardest, but also best job in the world for a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, anybody who's they're the primary caregiver of their family. But I talk to a lot of women in my practice. So a lot of women in my practice, and that doesn't necessarily light them up. Now, it does for some women. And that, again, like I said, is the hardest, probably least appreciated, but most powerful job in the world. Because you are shaping the lives of the next generation, not just your own children, right? So it's crucial. But some women and men make the decision, okay, this is what I'm going to do. It's the right thing to do. It's what's best for my kids. But in some areas, they feel like, as part of them has been lost, right? They're not doing the career they may have loved before or the interest they may have loved because it's all in when you have kids. And so what I try to do, depending on who the client is, because this can be a great sense of stress, and it can be, it is a sense, in some ways, of boredom because you're going through the same thing every day that isn't your favorite thing to do. Part of it is looking at phases of life. And I love sharing this with people as well. Because let's even use the kids phase. Well, when kids are young, you have to be all in all the time with those kids, right? There's no doubt about it. But then there is a point where they start to go to school, sometimes just for 3 hours in the morning, and then sometimes a full day, from like 8 o'clock to 2 or 3 o'clock. Okay, so now you kind of get back 7 hours of your day or so. And so, sometimes it's saying like, okay, I'm in this particular season of life that is allowing me to be closer to my children, to shape their lives, to make sure that they are getting the best of everything and that I have no regrets looking back on that. And for other people, it may be in their job. Their job isn't something they love right now, but they don't have the credentials, they don't have the skills, they don't have the knowledge, the know-how to be able to apply for that next level of job. Or they might be building something on the side. And they're saying, I would love to be, and again, I'm just going to use my field, I would love to be a certified integrative health practitioner or health coach, or might be nutritionist or personal trainer, whatever it is. But right now, I need to work in accounting. Went to school for it. It's not what I love to do, but it's paying the bills, and that's important in life, right? So you get different people, different areas of life, but not loving necessarily where they're at right now. And so being sensitive to this issue, I want to say is, no matter where you're at right now, you are most likely, though, providing a very valuable service. Whether it's for your work, your clients that you're working with at work, your family, your children, could even be earning income to help pay for parents or support other family, grandparents, whatever it might be. And so first we need to start to look at it maybe a little bit differently in frame of where we're currently at right now. So first things first, you are doing a service. And there's also this gratitude that I just try to give for even being in the position to be in the position to not necessarily love a job or whatever it might be, a service that you're providing. So there is that part to it. But the other part is this. It's that you can ultimately be where you want to be. So when you are bored because you don't love where you're at right now with your particular job or even in school, right? You could be going right now and you're in a 4-year degree and you're like, all right, I've got to get through this. It's not something that I love to do. I don't love going to school. I want to be working. I want to be earning an income. I want to be helping people, whatever it might be. You have to understand is this is where you're at right now. We can be grateful for that. It could be worse. For a lot of people, it is worse, right? So there's at least what I like to use is the 2 words, gratitude and perspective. Gratitude is get to go to school. Gratitude is you probably have, good kids, that you're able to be at home with them. You probably have a decent job At least it's paying you a wage that you're able to then pay rent or help out family or whatever it might be. So the first is just gratitude. The second is perspective. The perspective part is it could be worse, right? Like it could always be worse. I tell myself that as well. So it's like, hey, these are good problems to have. If these are my problems, okay, these are my problems. But then at the same time, so you gave gratitude, you have perspective. We don't want to deny that we don't necessarily love exactly where we're at right now in life. So then what do we do? Because this boredom can really lead down dark paths. It can lead to, at its worst, like substance abuse and other issues there, and as well as mental health issues, such as depression. And it happens all of the time. It really does. And that's why I want to call attention to this, because whatever you're going through right now, you're not alone. And I use, being bored is just like a easy way to kind of move into it, but it could be dislike or feeling stuck where you're at in life right now. And so what we need to do is understand that you most likely can't get out of where you are right now, nor may you not want to. Because again, like let's say you are in a job, you're doing good work, you're home with your kids, you are going through school. It is enough sometimes to understand that it's a finite period of time, that you're doing the right thing, but at the same time, shifting gears. Because as they say, the days are long, but the years are short, right? And even though the years are short, the days are still long. And that can be a hardship. So what I want you to start to think about, and ideally what it's helped for a lot of my personal clients, is just to begin to move in the direction of the life that you want. That enough for most people is a spark, enough to light them up, to get them excited. You might not be able to make the full change for 2, 3, 4 years, honestly. You may not be able to, especially if you just started like your first year, you're a freshman in college. You're listening to this, you're like, I don't want to be going to school, but I know I need my 4-year degree and this, that, and the other thing. If that's the right path for you, it's the right path for you. And yes, you need to move through that. Another could be, okay, you've got a 3-year-old and it might be some time before they're in school, whatever it might be. Or you're in a job and you're learning. You know that you're not going to be able to go off on your own for a couple of years. But here's the thing. Again, gratitude and perspective for where you're at. And there are a lot of other examples. I'm just giving you those 3 examples. And what I want to share with you though is, what do you want to be doing? Because that's how you can spend a lot of those bored moments at work, school, whatever it might be, is thinking, what is the ideal that I want? And you have time. Like most likely if you're in this position now, which is the nice thing about gratitude and perspective, like you might have some time to think about that. You might not be in a rush to do it. So now you're saying to yourself, yeah, like if I'm bored right now, bored is sometimes the wrong word. You want more meaning in your life. You want more passion. You want to feel more purpose. Okay, we've all been there. Like that is not unique to you, which you should feel good about. Like you're not alone. So now what do? You start to think about, what would a life of passion and purpose look like? Something you could be doing that you would enjoy waking up every day too. What would that be? And then once you develop what it is, and I'm just going to use health coaching just in general, call that massage therapy, personal training, nutrition, IHP, etc. Right? It could be anything. Like that's obviously the field that I know. So what would you do now that would enable you to say, okay, I'm going to keep doing my job right now, but now I'm going to move towards this field of health coaching? What would you do? You'd probably start to read about it, learn more about it, right? Then you might start reading books on it. Books on the topics of health or sleep or whatever you're looking to become an expert in. Maybe you'd sign up for an online certification to become a certified health coach, personal trainer, whatever it may be. And then you'd start to what? Maybe work on a social media account, talking about health, starting to build a little bit of a community. You might eventually create your own website. And then a year from now, a year and a half from now, you might actually start working with 1 or 2 or 3 clients a week. A little bit at first, in addition to your current job, or maybe even at school. What would that allow you to do? I mean, that's what I did when I was 18 years old. Started working as a nutritionist and personal trainer. I didn't know it would lead to this life, which I'm, again, so grateful for. But all I did was start down the path. And so you don't always need to know the entire way. You just need to be able to answer the question, what would enable me to feel a little excitement when I woke up? What were the ideal could I begin to work towards that would give life more meaning, more passion, more purpose? And once you begin to answer that question, whether it's community service, working with a particular group of people that really need your help, doing something outside of the house for yourself, health-wise, getting your degree, then working towards whatever job it is, or even moving towards an accounting job and into the health-based field. Whatever it is that you answer that question, however you answer that question is the right answer. There is no right answer that I can give you. Whatever gives you that spark, that makes you look forward to waking up every single day, that's how you know you're on the path. That is how you also know you are moving away from the dangerous dark spots we all move into in life at times, the deeper levels of depression, and I'm not saying that this is the only answer, but it does help you move towards something that's a greater light in your life, that you will actually look forward to doing each and every day of your life. Hopefully today's show was helpful. As always, if it was, do feel free to share the show with anybody you feel it could serve. Take care, everybody. Have an amazing day. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics that you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.